I'm Thomas Cansfield. Welcome to ESPN First Take with Emma and Desiree. With the 2015 World Cup coming up, there's been recent debate about using turf fields for the pitch. Alex Morgan's comments about the recent events during the 2015 Women's World Cup in Canada have prompted a strong reaction from women's players around the world about gender's role in FIFA. And in a recent interview with Alex Morgan, she said, if the Men's World Cup didn't allow it and they built brand new stadiums, not even put in grass fields, they built brand new stadiums with a couple $2 billion, you'd think we're worth a couple million to put in grass fields. So quite simply, what are your guys' reactions?
So I think that in general, all soccer players, they want to play on grass fields. The turf, it's just a completely different way to play. Professionals don't want to, if the ball carries differently, they don't want to have to deal with adapting to that on such a big stage. I also know that a lot of the players, including Alex Morgan and other members of the U.S. team, they think that this causes a lot more injuries, and not only injuries, but longer recovery time after each game. And when you're playing a tournament like this, you need to be able to recover fast. You're playing a lot of games in a short amount of time. That's just not something they want to deal with, and it wouldn't be something they have to deal with if it was grass fields. And I think FIFA should really just put in the money to get these fields for the women. This is such a huge event. It's going to be an international event. It'll make FIFA look better, so they shouldn't really want to seem subpar in this huge event.
For me personally, I believe that the women are really brave to speak up and to express their opinion, but I don't think that that it is reasonable of them to demand for grass pitches to play on, because if you look back at history, the Youth World Cups for both men and women have been played on artificial turf, and also Canada has a lot of restrictions, which makes it very hard for them to build natural grass fields because of the weather, the climate. They have very cold and long winters. So because of that, Canada has restrictions, and this was actually all mentioned when Canada submitted the bid to host the World Cup. So I think that the players are actually blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah, additionally, FIFA, even though Canada does have these restraints, FIFA has so much extra money and they make so much profit from all their events. They should be able to, even if it's just temporary for this one event, they should be willing to put the money in to put in these grass fields. I know FIFA has over $2 billion in reserve, and these fields only cost a couple $1 million, so it really shouldn't be that hard for them to compromise with the women that want this.
I think FIFA has actually mentioned the Secretary General Jerome Velk. He says that he envisions a men's World Cup being played on turf in the foreseeable future. So, it kind of shows that turf and natural grass are equal surfaces, and there really isn't much of an issue to be made out of it. So I think the women players should just bear with it and just play on this big field, because it will give them a lot of visibility. Yeah.
Up next is an interview with Alex Morgan. Stay tuned. Lucky enough to bring Alex Morgan to the set. Alex, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me today.
So with this recent outrage with this whole turf versus grasses thing for the FIFA Women's World Cup, FIFA.com recently posted an article citing Dr. John Estran. He's the vice president of the APHIS Medical Committee. He says that artificial turf versus grass turf, there's not a higher incidence of leg burns on turf, but actually there's a higher incidence on natural grass. What's your response to this?
I definitely disagree with the way it's been from the men's field and that. It's pretty unfortunate that that's been done.
How does playing on turf affect you physically? Do you notice anything different, or?
Yeah, it's much harder on the body, definitely, especially as we get older. Because playing on concrete a lot takes a lot more time to recover, particularly especially with the legs, and I report that playing on a lot. So definitely, it's a really
how confident are you that you'll be playing on grass in June? Do you see any changes coming?
At this point, I'm not sure. It's pretty much an uphill battle. All several players are arguing for international participation. My teammate who's Japanese, she also doesn't want to keep him. But it's hard to say because people think they're not, I don't think they're taking us seriously. I don't believe that it's chance of players.
How mad do you think you'll be?
That the World Cup is a big stage to the women's soccer in the past, so we really disagree that we didn't make any effort to make it like the men's game one.
And at what point do you guys go back and let it go? Do you guys see any protests coming, or will you still play in the World Cup, or what do you see happening?
It's hard to say, we want to make the World Cup back in we have more now to bring this, and it'll probably be a whole by 2.5 close for the tournament.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you, Alex, for coming on the set, and hope you have a good day.
Sure, thank you.
So now that we've all had the opportunity to hear what Alex Morgan has to say, what do you guys think about the issue now?
So I definitely think that the players, like, this is a very big concern to them, and because they feel so strongly about this, I really think that FIFA should be taking it more seriously, because right now it seems like they're just trying to avoid the problem by not having to pay this extra money to put in grass fields. I mean, yeah, there's studies that say that the injuries don't really matter, and it's the same on turf and grass, but if the players can feel a difference, that should be, like, taken more seriously, since their opinion matters more.
I feel that the health risk is exaggerated because it's based mostly on like personal accounts, and like the hard science doesn't really prove it. So to spend so much money to like refurbish the fields, it's very costly. And also I think FIFA is already taking it very seriously. Like they have appointed an independent examiner to check the fields and make sure that they are of high quality. So I think FIFA has already done its job in this case.
Do you guys think this would happen if this was the Men's World Cup? Do you guys think that we'd see a change immediately, or?
Yeah, I think depending on the country that's hosting, if the climate and the conditions don't allow it, as it don't allow for natural grass, I think that artificial turf is definitely an option for Men's World Cup.
So you think this is a country issue and not a gender issue?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's more of like the country that wins the bid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that if this was a Men's World Cup, like, things would probably be different. There was an example in the past when there was going to be a tournament, it wasn't even the World Cup, for men's played on turf, and like when they like voiced their opinion, they got it changed. So for something like that's on a much smaller scale to be changed for the men's, like they should be doing that for the World Cup for the women. And also like the men, like they would have like the power to boycott, but a lot of the women I think probably feel like this is their like one chance to play on such a big stage. They don't want to like risk not playing on it. So I think there would definitely be different outcome and different way to handle the situation if it was the men's.
Okay. What do you guys think will happen with this issue, and where do you think this particular issue stands with the future of women's soccer going forward?
I feel like this issue will just raise a lot of awareness about women's soccer, because right now the viewership for women's soccer compared to men's soccer is like really different. So I think this will give visibility to the women's soccer players, and also maybe support them in their future competitions, like even if they don't win this case, because it seems quite hard to prove that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely hoping that the women, when they take this case to court, that they win and get FIFA to change it for them. But I mean, it's going to be definitely a battle. I mean, there's nothing guaranteed. So yeah, I guess we'll just see where it goes.
All right. Well, that's it for our show today. Thank you for watching ESPN First Take, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. We chose to make an ESPN First Take clip to challenge gender in sport. First Take is an ESPN show that discusses controversial topics through debates. Beginning with the format of First Take, which is a female moderator as male debaters, we decided to have a male moderator with females debating. Additionally, mainly issues in men's sports are discussed, but we decided to talk solely about a topic in women's sports. We wanted to challenge the idea that women's sports is not worth discussing. This is currently a very important issue in women's sports and deserves to be recognized through mainstream media, such as ESPN. The issue of gender equality in sports has been woven into many weekly topics throughout the course. One of the main difficulties we encountered while making this project was that we were not aware of the current issues in women's sports because of the lack of coverage. We had to do a lot of research to learn about this topic in order to be prepared to debate it.